Hello friends of terrain building and welcome to another Middle-earth terrain building tutorial. Today I would like to continue building the Ethelian terrain in part 2 and show you my interpretation of the ranger's hideout. I use different materials, techniques and some 3D printed parts for the interior. I hope you enjoy this tutorial. There are many steps seen in the time-lapse. You have seen the relevant techniques. For the base, I cut a small hollow for a pond and glued lots of leftover pieces of XPS foam on top. The aim is to create a rough structure. It is not important that everything fits perfectly here, but rather to create a kind of foundation for the mountain, which was cut smoother in a later step. Every now and then a gap will appear in the mountain. Here you can simply glue parts on and smooth them out again. I also smoothed out the rock on the inside, but because of the device you can't always get into every little corner perfectly. But as soon as the tree bark is glued on, it's less noticeable anyway. That's the next step. Once the mountain has been covered completely with the tree bark, it can be primed and further colored. I then want to create a waterfall at the front to make the entrance to the cave a little more concealed. The water flowers were the last step in the construction process. You have seen everything important. I used the water texture to suggest the waves on the lake, and I wanted to make the interior of the cave more lively with the printed minis and many other things. I also added a Middle-earth map alluding to the extended scene. The cave is now finished. Finally, I'd like to show you a way of placing the two pieces of terrain on a table. Depending on your personal ideas and imaginations, you could glue different animals to the mountain, such as frogs or rabbits. I'll show you a possible terrain table and see you in the next tutorial.